Ladies and gentlemen, good Tuesday morning. Welcome aboard. Primary live trade brief, day two, technically, of a full throttle mistake. Welcome aboard. If you're a new member, I'm going to ignore you, treat you like you're a current member, and maybe at the end we can talk about how you can potentially join Top Gun options because we did a good lifetime push last week. Got three new lifetime members and some nice donations to the foundation to fund this next retreat. Good stuff going on. I was supposed to move the full throttle from this week to next week, and we didn't. I didn't. So anyway, welcome aboard to Free Folks. Getting a lot of good feedback from the last episode here, man. I was on a rant. I mean, I usually am, but this one really hits close to home, obviously. Religious freedom, religious liberty. We started a new fellowship here in the great state of Florida a couple weeks ago, a month ago, because of this. So go check out that video. I'm getting a lot of good feedback, getting some other feedback, which is great. Love being attacked by people who I send love. It's really funny, man. You know, you're practicing some sort of new age, newfangled Christianity. I hate to break it to you, man. This is actually you're practicing new age Christianity. This actually predated Christianity, man. You were always able to commune with God on your own with some sacraments until folks decided to jump in between you and God and say, not only are we in between you and God, we'll tell you what God says. Oh, by the way, you're a sinner and pay us 10% of everything you make. So anyway, so make sure you check out our YouTube channel, No Fallen Heroes. Make sure you're subscribed and then go check out that podcast. I think that's it for administrative items. All right, let's get everyone. We have a lot to cover. The no one is above the law crowd sure doesn't like when we apply no one to them. I thought no one was above the law. Well, it's different. It's political retribution. Okay. You tried to shoot a former president twice. You raided his house. You went through his wife's panty drawer. You indicted him in New York and Georgia and all. But that was fine. This is different. Oh, okay. It's comical to see everything that's going on. We're gonna have a good time today, man. I dusted off. Let me give you this. I posted this yesterday in all the threads. Did everybody get this? Well, you didn't get this one. This one's brand new. This is actually with the strikes I'm gonna do today. So let me give you this. I love ChatGPT, man. Put it in a nice little document. Let me give you this. Uh, your computer. Um, NVDA. Hold on, let me figure this out, folks. Do I have to close this file? I'm going to give it to you before I forget. That's why I want to do this. Your computer. There's my computer. Trade plans. Date modified. All right, everybody. Excuse me. Take a look at the chat box. Let me know you can see that thing. Let me pull it back up here. NVIDIA backspread analysis. Man, I had to blow off the dust to look at something like this. All right, good. Frank got it. All right, we're gonna jump into this, man. This is good. Uh, I literally had to go back to some Chicago trade journals and stuff like that. So this is gonna be a good one, folks. But let's do our SOT, strategic, operational, tactical. Stagnant job market is a rising risk for the economy. Wait a minute. The Wall Street Journal last week told me earnings were great, everything's awesome. Well, no. Okay, so we're we're in a precarious position, Wiz. Oh, I thought everything was great. And then we got a horrific jobs report, then we got a little increase in inflation. So a lot of gray swirling around here. Um, so and as I told you recently, September to October, September and October, middle of September to the middle of October are historically the most volatile months. Don't believe me? Go to your trade desk, ChatGPT, and look it up. I was about to say Google it. Google's dying. Google, maybe we do a ratio spread, a put back spread on Google because most people are starting to use. I haven't used Google in ages. I'm using chat for everything. because not only does it give you links and great, it doesn't. First of all, you don't have ads at the for now at the top of Chat GPT. You get good content. It gives you its take and gives you the links. Anyway, um, we're way overbought up here. I called this last week and said, man, we're probably going to head back down to the what 20-day moving average, and we failed again. So the bounces off the 20 are getting a little look tighter, tighter, tighter. That's an indication that we're topping out, we're peaking out, and we're doing it right in time for Sept Oct. Okay, so Karen, no links shows on iPad. Karen, it's not a link, it's in the chat box. It's an actual file. Um, so I can post it here again. Let me throw it in the ready room. Um, NVIDIA bubble pop strikes at everyone. So if you're new, folks, welcome. I'm showing you what our member site looks like. We have an app. Karen's obviously listening or watching on the app, and we get to post all our stuff in there. So this is what it looks like, and I'll throw it in there once the website. All right, NVIDIA back spread strikes. So we'll talk about that when we get tactical, but I'm just doing this now so I don't forget. At everyone, so 633 people get this. Let me post the link, file attachment. All right, so let me post that in the ready room. I'll do it to the put back spread strikes. Guess I don't have to at everyone here, but that's all right. I'll still do it. And then I'll give the lifetime members. I'll put that in the trade alerts because it's technically a trade. And then lifetime. All right. All right. Then we'll get going here. So everybody should have it now. So it's not a link, it's an actual file. So there you go. It's posted all over the place. All right. Let me finish um, with hey Richard, I don't know if you made it in here or not. Um, but folks, this ain't hard. Can someone give me a link for today's brief? How about right there? The link's in like 90 places, folks. Full Throttle Brief is now live. So, Richard, hopefully you're in here, man. But the top of every one of these threads is the actual link. Sharon, are you guys in here? I thank you, Benoit, for hooking them up. Okay. All right, guys, let's go. I don't want to bog down in this stuff. So here we go. We talked yesterday a little bit about this in solo Amazon, but for folks who aren't in solo Amazon, Jerome Powell, and I ended up being right. I was, I told you last week, folks. I'm like, I didn't hear what the market heard. I told you last week, man. So this, ladies and gentlemen, live through this right now. Learn with me, or don't learn with me. You learn. I already know this. I told you on Friday, or I posted. I think I'm like, this is a short squeeze. Part of this. Now there might be a little relief in that, like he might, or he's going to cut in September. What do you think all this was? Remember how many times did we go to the trade desk and say, what are the rate cut odds for September? 75, 80, 80. before Jackson Hole was up at 95%. Then we got horrific jobs numbers and inflation, and we popped. So, I, if anything, last week, I sold a bear call spread out to this Friday, right? Because I'm like, the market is never present. The market is always what? Looking into the future, folks. So we're starting to fade here because they're done with September. It's August 26th, Wiz. Yeah, what did I just tell you? The market lives in the future. We're done with the September Fed meeting. What if we get really crappy? We get two reports before the next Fed meeting, folks. We get another job and another inflation. What if they both suck? Well, I think he's still going to cut, and I've already introduced you to this topic called a hawkish cut. He gives a hawkish cut in the middle of September, you're going to see a Septoc shit show. I guarantee you. So we're way oversold, overbought up here. I'm sorry. That was this relief rally. You should have sold into it. I did. I sold a bear call spread out to Friday. Um, and this, I think we're heading easily back to the 20-day moving average. Remember, if the market's always forward looking, what do we have right now? Well, the president just fired Fed governor. No, he didn't. It's not. And cause, well, okay, whatever. That's going on. Earnings are behind us. We already got financials and tech and everything like that. We already know we're getting a cut in 3 weeks. We're not being present. We're in a This is a dead zone, folks. There ain't nothing going on, or there ain't nothing good going on. Got the got the Jerome Powell out of the way out in Jackson Hole. Somebody tell me what's going on right now on the radar. Nothing. So I think we start fading here. So um, Powell's rate cut signal reflects economy's delicate position. We're going to get a hawkish cut in September. Now, I could be wrong. What if first of all, if the September data are crappy, it doesn't matter to Trump. They're lies. I fired the BLS chief. We're fixing it. Don't believe the data that you're seeing. What if they're fantastic? He'll believe them. Jobs are great. Inflation's steady or coming down. We need a 0.5 cut this month in September. Could happen. But we are definitely in a delicate position. We are going into seasonality. I can't believe summer's already over with. We're heading to Ole Miss on Friday for a football game Saturday. We're already in the fall. We're getting close to the fall, and volatility is about to wake up again. I guarantee you. Uncharted waters, Trump's attempt to take charge of the Fed. You know, it's um, it's funny, or it's not funny. Again, the no one is above the law crowd really doesn't like it when it's applied to them. She's a Fed governor. And don't give me this alleged bullshit speech. It's a 2-minute investigation. Is this your signature? Yes or no? And if it's no, so somebody forged this? So that's the even bigger crime. Who forged it for you? It's clearly her signature. She more or less admitted to it. Like, well, I'm gathering paperwork, but I'm not going to resign. Is this your signature saying this is a primary residence when you have another primary residence in another state? Okay, it is your signature. And you're lying. Oh, and by the way, you put this house up for rent. How is it your primary residence in a state different from you live in, and you just put it up for rent? You're fired. You are breaking the law. So again, all these smarmy people on CNBC trying to do, maybe she made a mistake. William, you know what's funny about that? Is the big bold letters above your signature and date that say warning. Lying on this form is a crime. So Adam Schiff, Letitia James, and Fed Governor Cook all made mistakes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not a mistake. People do this. They claim, oh, this will be my primary residence because you get better rates. Mortgage companies and insurance companies like that you're living there full time and renters on it in there smoking crack and growing weed plants. It's a crime. So and of course the Wall Street Journal tried to explain it away like, well, it seems like a third of Americans are doing this, so I mean, real so this clearly looks like retribution. I can't stand these people. Do you know why I pulled you over, Mr. Buckley? For speeding. Well, officer, didn't you see the 90 other people that were speeding as well? That's great. Here's your ticket. Have a good day. I can't stand these people, smarmy people on CBC. Like, wow, I mean, the Trump's trying to take control of the Fed. Hey, folks, either it's a law or it isn't. If you don't like the mortgage fraud law, change it. But you would think that a Fed governor would be should be even more above reproach. They're not. And this will go. She's like, I'm not leaving. And, so let's talk about the double ambush that's going on right now. And I'm talking about this, folks, because if Trump does what he might do, the market's going to implode. So I'm getting somewhere. Does Jerome Powell this morning read the executive order that Trump signed last night that says you're fired? Does Powell say, no, I'm still going to give her access to the building and her computer and emails? Trump is walking Powell into an ambush. The lady clearly committed mortgage fraud. That's the definition of cause. And again, the investigation people. Where do you draw the crime line, you hypocrites? Let's say last night she murdered allegedly, Wiz, she allegedly murdered three people with a chainsaw. These are allegations. We have to wait for the process to play out. So she can be a Fed governor until 2 years from now when they have her chainsaw murder trial. Oh, well, that's a little dip. No, 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 no. Where is the crime line for your alleged? It's either she's committed a crime, allegedly, or she didn't. So I love rolling in on these people because they don't like it when you do it to them. Right? So, yeah, exactly. If you're a Democrat, it's the whatever. Exactly. So, um, guys, I don't know what you're talking about. Right here is the most accurate thing to look at. Okay. So if you're looking anywhere else, it's wrong. Matter of fact, or whatever. I'm not going to drop anchor here. But you click on that, it'll take you to the whatever's next is always at the top right here, guys. Just let's go with that. So anyway, not gonna. So here's what I'm getting at is Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, can be walking Jerome Powell into an ambush too. Chairman Powell, you haven't removed access to this woman who's been fired for cause. Under the Federal Reserve Act, it says she can be fired for cause. You are harboring somebody who broke the law. Fed governors who control interest rates and mortgages and all sorts of stuff like that should be above reproach. You, chairman, are also removed for cause. How do you think the S&P 500 is going to react if or when this Jerome Powell gets clipped? We already saw a couple weeks ago, and or a month ago when, oh my God, we heard you circulated a letter last night that you might fire Powell. The next day, the market was down 1%, right? So does everybody understand this? Also, why we're fading a little bit right now. This is going to be an interesting. I'm calling this 24, 48 hours. I'm sitting on the couch last night watching the what's it called on Netflix? The Dallas Cowboys thing. Wow. If you watch any series on Netflix, I'll finish it tonight. I can't stand the Cowboys. I'm an Eagles fan. I hated the Cowboys in the mid '90s for everything they did. It's a great, one of the best documentaries or docu series I've seen. Um, anyway, so why did I come up with that? It's good. So anyway, the uh, if the president decides in the next 24 to 48 hours that I fired her for cause, you're not doing anything about it, I'm firing you for cause. Now, of course, people on one side of the aisle are saying this is not cause. What do you define cause as then, man? If I ran and again, the government sucks. If I ran a company and somebody did this under my thing, well, it's alleged. I don't care if it's alleged. This makes our company look crappy. You're fired. Even if it's proven not to be true, I don't need this stink associated with my company. You're fired. So anyway, the Exactly, Debbie. Um, it's a good point, Bruce. Bruce brings up a point I've made a couple times is he's not going to fire Powell because that's a punching bag and he's fine. I think he might be getting past that, Bruce. We're starting to feel a little bit of a fade. That was good for the past 6 months. Treasury Secretary Besson, don't fire Powell. Just keep him around. We'll use him as a punching bag. I got some good people we can interview. Now, Trump does that, right? Trump will do this for a little while. He'll listen to a smart guy like Besson, like, okay, yeah. Then he gets to a certain point where he's like, not happening fast enough. You're fired. This is the apprentice, man. So if or when, it might even happen this week, man. Hal doesn't, I mean, we should know, like, did she show up at work at 9 a.m. this morning? I don't even know, where she works. Does she have access to her email and federal, does her Fed key card work? We're coming to a showdown here, folks. So there's nothing going on except this, and the market's going to pull back. So I got a tactical bear call spread on out to Friday. This is good. You guys know Trump as well as I do, right? I don't know him any better, any worse. Um, this won't drag. It has been dragging, like I just said. He doesn't like the drag. He listened. Now he's like, okay. So I'm telling you, man, I'm feeling something. And he did this last night. Oh, that's why I was talking about the Cowboys thing. He did this last night while my phone buzzed. I'm like, okay, there goes Cook. If we get an out of the blue, he already wrote the letter, folks. Do you remember last month we covered this? He was asked in the Oval Office meeting with whatever head of state, like, are you going to fire Jerome Powell? He's like, we heard you circulated a firing letter. Well, I did, but and then a lot of people that read the letter said it's awesome. Super never read a better letter. But I'm a little bit more conservative than they are. It was a good cop, bad cop moment. So, folks, if you think this is a coming, because guess what, man? If I'm a reporter, Donald Trump doesn't stop talking to the press. The next time we're in front of the press is like, Lisa Cook showed up for work today, Mr. President. Are you going to fire Jerome Powell? Again, I got my whiteboard on this wall. Whenever it's military, I always go to the bottom right of the whiteboard or the top right or wherever the middle. What's the desired end state? The desired end state is to get rid of Jerome Powell, and he might use Lisa Cook. Again, stop with your allegedly bullshit. I can't stand when people play this stuff. They didn't do it under Trump. Trump committed mortgage fraud. Wait, you dropped the allegedly word. Oh, allegedly. Okay, which one is it? Her? Oh, it's allegedly. Same thing with Adam Schiff. Did you see that what Pulte posted the other day? It's like whatever. It's either a crime or it's not, folks. They were warned for 4 years. They engaged in lawfare, the DOJ, all of this shit, and they were warned. This will blow up in your face. And when it does, again, folks, they're stupid children. Don't touch the stove, it's hot. I'm warning you, Matthew Jr., do not touch the stove, it's hot. And then at a certain point, you just sit there and smile, like, go ahead, touch the stove. Ow, oh, you're screaming? It's painful? Good. Hopefully, you learned your lesson. Democrats are about to learn their lesson. Same thing with the John Bolton thing. This is unprecedented. Unprecedented. Unprecedented was raiding a former president's house who actually has declassification authority. Did you not know John Bolton was under investigation 4 years ago for his book? Some smart people were like, "Oh my God, this is full of class." Did you see the judge's write up? It's like you most likely are breaking the law here with classified information. A judge said that. What happened? He turned into an anti-Trump sycophant, and the Biden administration quietly said, "Oh, well, that investigation's going away, John. Go back on MSNBC." What did the current people do? They blew the dust off that investigation, like, holy shit, look at this guy. He clearly took classified material. That's unprecedented. This is lawfare. Shut up. Enjoy it. Brace for the Fed's MAGA makeover. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if you um, love or hate the president. It's either like love or I mean, I don't love the guy. respect the office. I respected the office under Joe Biden, even though he wasn't president. Um, here's the bottom. It's so funny to see, especially somebody who looks like that, write an article. Uh, there was some good meeting here, like where is it? It more or less talked about everything. It's like where is it? Mm, talking about, but we will all miss this nuance when Powell is gone. Um, again, they're going. Do you guys remember if you were here during the first Trump? Was he running for? No, he was running for reelection. 2019. Who was it? Timmy Geithner? It, it, it was Geithner, right? It was the New York Fed president, the former New York Fed president. He had just left, or however long ago he had left. Trump's running for reelection. Do you remember what he wrote? He wrote an op-ed, New York Times or whatever. He said the Fed should raise interest rates to stick it to Donald Trump so the market crashes and he doesn't get reelected. Do you remember this? What happened later in the day? What happened later in the day, Wiz, was for the first time in the Fed's history, they released a press statement that said, "We want to, we don't." He's a former Fed president, and we are an independent agency. Do you guys remember this happening? So I laugh at the so-called Fed independence, and we're above the fray. It's an absolute lie. Timmy Geithner. He's like, the Fed should use their tools if I was still there. Oh, let me put all this stuff to bed and then we're going to move on. You ready? Buy it with both hands. I don't care about the tactics and the cats and dogs and the clouds. It will be incredibly bullish. Now, might get the Fed MAGA cut negative interest rates. The market's going to rip. We have an absolute potential of the worst thing happening ever. The deflation, I'm not even going to get into the tactics of it. This could be, who did it? Nixon. This could be absolutely horrific for the economy. You heard me last September. A rate 50 basis point cut in front of the election should have been a 50 basis point increase. What happened when with me driving back from yoga that morning, steering with my knees and yelling into the phone? When inflation hit 9.1%, what did Wiz say? Of course, tongue in cheek, because I knew it was going to happen. I said, "What time is the emergency Fed press conference today?" Jerome Powell should have had it would have been the best thing to do and send a message. I'm on this thing. Breaking news: the Fed's having a press conference. They're jacking up a full percentage point. I would have been like, of course that didn't happen. So don't give me any of your bullshit brace for the Fed's MAGA makeover. Like it's not into it's an independent agency. This lady is a Biden appointee. She hates Donald Trump. Looking at some of her tweets and stuff like that, stop it. And Biden appointed her to what is it, a 10-year position? It's like 2038 or something crazy. Are you insane? These ain't Supreme Court justices. But let me let's start moving to tactical. It's bullish for the market, folks, and I have to remind people that are new, the market is not the economy. As a matter of fact, the better or the worse the economy's doing, the market will rip. Why? Because the Fed's going to get involved, the government's going to get involved to try and revive capitalism. And it's not capitalism if they need to do that. Tech rally shows signs of losing steam. Ah, doubts about AI. Here we go. Let's get tactical, folks. Doubts about AI. Huh. What about it? How do we make money? My chat GPT, folks, is I don't see a single ad. I don't see anything. I don't want ads or anything like that. This is me, my worksheet. We're working on this stuff, man. Good stuff. So I had to upload option strikes and all. This was fantastic. It was 20 bucks a month, putting doctors out of work, first through third year law students out of work. I have a whole Sacred Warrior Fellowship, legal, singular, the lawsuit. Man, I have this thing is insane. I talked to one of my old attorneys because the only reason you need attorney, any you could do all of the legwork now, get all the cases cited, do all the legwork. Hell, you can get the damn motions written for that circuit court, everything. Now, of course, they're not, probably not change the law anytime soon, but to go into a courtroom and actually file something or do, you got to be at the bar. But folks, I'm telling you, man, these headlines. I remember, man, I was an F-18 instructor pilot at Miramar. Used to be Naval Air Station Miramar. After Tailhook, Pat Schroeder and her like booted Top Gun up to Fallon, Nevada. Yay, better airspace, but anyway. I remember these type of headlines, man. Like the .com, is it a bubble? You never know it's a bubble, folks, until when it pops. I have never seen something get so inflated and it never pop. You guys can jump on your chat GPT and go back to the tulip bubble. Does everybody remember that? So, yeah, exactly, David. I think they fixed that. It's funny because I red team, right? When I do contracts now, I'm like, is this airtight? And they're like, yeah, this is a great contract that I made for you. I'm like, okay, pretend you're opposing counsel and you're suing me. And it's like, oh, good idea. Let's red team this. And then it comes up with like 8 holes. I'm like, why didn't you put that in there in the first place? Oh, yeah, great catch. I'm like, all right, well, now incorporate the 8 holes you shot into it. It's like, oh, now it's even super tighter. It's funny, but I've done that too. All the court cases, I highlight, drop, and I Google it, and I'm like, okay, that one's legit. But yeah, you're right. So, um, shock sell-off after what? Study warns most investments in AI get zero returns. Now, don't start typing. I'm going to pretend I'm you laughing at me right now. You don't know what you're talking about, Wiz. That's a distinct possibility. Where's all my NFT bubbas from 2022? My email box was flooded with people like, Wiz, you should do an NFT for this or an NFT for that. I'm like, I don't get it. Oh, it's because you're in the past, man. This is 2022. Hop. Who's the idiot that bought that ape JPEG for 3 million bucks? It's worth 100 bucks. The metaverse, Wiz. You're an idiot. Jim Cramer put goggles on and walked into the metaverse and did an interview with Mark Zuckerberg. He looked like a Weeblo, no legs. And then I started hearing that people were walking into metaverse bars and getting sexually molested. What? Pop. Everything pops, baby. Again, hit me with you don't know what you're talking about, Wiz. You don't get it. Okay. But when you got this really smart people, the dude who they call the godfather of AI saying we're in a we're in a lot of trouble. When you see the words terrifying warning, do you just kind of yawn and go, yeah, whatever? Or do you stop and read it? Oh, the tech that he created is going to take over the world. Well, Wiz, we're going to have universal basic income. So remember, folks, the definition of a recession is when your neighbor loses their job. A depression is when you lose yours. I am seeing tons because I send them to my son, Jack. He was in Navy ROTC and he's like, Dad, I don't know if the military's for me. Love you, buddy. Get your business degree. I keep kind of sending him all the Wall Street Journal and all the other articles like college graduates are getting destroyed. AI is replacing most things that college grads would do for the first couple of years at wherever they go. Thank God he's in sports business, and we know Bobby Orr, and he's going to be okay. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, this bubble will burst. I don't know when. I don't know the catalyst. I feel it. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're because people have asked over the years, very smart people in our firm here at Top Gun Options, very smart people. Wiz, what about, you do synthetic stock. You fly out into the future and you look at names that you're bullish on that you think are going to move up and to the right. Yeah. Every once in a while, somebody will ask, like, well, what about like pounding something out into the dirt in the future? I'm like, I don't have time to talk about it because I don't do that. I don't do down and to the rights. When I look at synthetic stock, I'm bullish, baby. I'm doing up and to the rights. I haven't had anything past 10 years. I didn't know how to short NFTs, right? I wish I could have done that. The metaverse, Zuck spent 12, I think it was 12 to 15 billion dollars. Meta got hammered for a little bit, recovered. So didn't do that. Um, Most of you, since you're smart, you watched the movie The Big Short, right? The finding about the global financial crisis. If you can find, and I'll do that in my trade desk every once in a while, like tell me what the next big short is, and it'll ripple through things. This is blindingly flashing a warning. Look at that run in NVDA from the April bottom at 90. What's a 2 year chart? Oh, not 10 years. 2 year chart. I mean, this was before it ended 2023 at 50 bucks. Not saying it's going to go back to that, but folks, whether it's how many times did I brief you on CVS and Walgreens? I told you pound CVS and Walgreens into the dirt. When you joined Solo Amazon, that's one of the bearish trades I told you. What did I tell you in the COVID crash? Peloton. Pound that it was $150 stock. I think it's at $4 or whatever. I told you to pound Peloton into the dirt. I didn't do any of those. I threw them out as good trade ideas. Now it's time to attack NVIDIA. So, does everybody have their tactic? Let's go. I had to literally blow the dust off of this. So, David, it's so funny that it does. Do you know how many times I've gone back to chat and like, no, 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 man, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, hey, you're right. I'm like, I don't need a yes man or a yes woman. Oh, Beyond Meat. Thank you, Chris. I thank you for bringing that up. I forgot about that one. That was another fad that some people at Top Gun Options told me I just didn't understand. Fake meat? Are you people insane? Oh, it's going to replace cows, and cows' gas destroys the atmosphere. AOC's mouth destroys the atmosphere. Oh, I forgot about the Beyond Meat and the plant. Do you remember that bullshit? When was that? Was that around the NFTs too? There was the whole Joe Biden 4 years was weird. The GameStop, the AMC, all that crap. I think the Beyond Meat was in the past 4 years, wasn't it? Man, that was some good shit too. Now, one more time before we even look at this tactic, 1,000% wrong. I absolutely reserve the right to be 1,000% wrong. Wiz, 2 years from now, NVIDIA is trading at $1 trillion. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, now let's go back to strategic real quick. What have I told you is most likely going to happen in the next couple years? Specifically, 2027. Everybody say it with me. Xi Jinping, years ago, I need to look up the exact date. I'm sick of saying it anecdotally. Let's just say 5 years ago. 5 years ago, Xi Jinping said what? In his Mao outfit, his green, I'm a general suit, talking to all the other PLA generals and admirals. Everybody in this room You are hereby ordered to be prepared to invade Taiwan by 2027. Folks, he gave a date. What do you think is going to happen when, not if, when Xi Jinping takes back Taiwan? Doesn't have to be a Saving Private Ryan storming the beaches, folks. It could be what? Which they practice often, a blockade. We're just going to go cowboys and Indians, man. You're Custer in the middle. We're just going to ride around you. Ain't nothing getting in or out. What will happen to Taiwan Semiconductor? What will happen, first of all, to the overall market? I will pull back a little bit, but these chip names will be destroyed. I guarantee you. He wasn't ready, Boost. That's why he said that. Frank, thank you for that. It was a Biden under Biden thing because stupid people who vote for Biden believed in that type of stuff. Like, I'm going to take almonds and press them into milk. You ever see that meme? It has God like shrugging his shoulders, like going, "What are they doing down there?" I gave them 11 animals that produce milk, and they're crushing almonds or something like that. Aaron, so we have what, 3.5 years of Trump left? He said, be ready to invade by 2027. He might not do it under Trump, folks, but guess what? Trump ain't running for reelection, even though he'll jokingly freak people out and say he is. He isn't leaving. He, what would be a test for a JD Vance? Or could you imagine? You ready for this? Breaking news: Gavin Newsom has been elected president, or Mayor Pete, or Kamala. So if it's a Republican, he might not. If it's a Democrat, he absolutely will. Okay, so be ready to invade Taiwan by 2027. You're right. He might not do it under Trump. Either way, folks, that I'm giving you my commit criteria for this put back spread, ratio spread. Now, you ready for this? Before I get into the tactic, Wiz, you are 1,000% wrong. You're an idiot thinking that NVDA and the AI bubble is going to pop. God bless you. I love you. The best thing about being an options trader is what? Do the exact opposite. Do a synthetic stock on NVIDIA out to December 2027. Call me an idiot. Folks, this is a no shit, what I'm about to show you, hedge. This ain't a trade. This ain't a trudge. Well, it's a 50% trend. What do I mean by that? I think the AI bubble is going to pop and NVIDIA is going to come back to earth. So it's a baby trend, but it is a hedge with a big H, hedge with a small t. All right. So everybody pull up your doc here. So what is a put back spread? If you've never, and this is also called a ratio spread as we get into it. A put back spread is an options tactic. If you use the word strategy, choke yourself. That involves selling one near the money put. People also call this a what? It's a 1x2. If you ever watch any of my old videos from the Options News Network with Judd Pyle, Gomer, he loved these put 1x2s. These are awesome. So what do? You sell a near the money put and you take some of that and you do what? You buy two out of the money puts with the same expiration date. The short put does what? I just told you, it helps pay for the long put, making this, you ready? A low cost or even credit. You can get paid to hedge against a bubble pop. What? You heard me. What could you do? Step one. Wiz, I think you're right. The AI bubble is going to pop sometime in the next 2 years, as far out in time as that's the other reason. Why are you looking that far out into the future? I don't know when it's going to happen or if it's going to happen. I'm giving this trade as much time to work. So there's your answer. Why the December 27 leaps, Wiz. Okay. So this tactic profits from a listen to me, large downside move, making it attractive if you expect NVIDIA to collapse when or if the AI bubble eventually pops. Okay. Does this make sense to everybody? Now, you're sitting here going, wait a minute, you sell one, you buy two. So technically, this is what? A bear put spread, right? Or I'm sorry, no, no, bull put spread. You're selling a put and you're buying a put underneath that one. That's a bull put spread. It's a credit spread. You're making money on that one. What are you going to do? Go buy a standalone put out here. Just like some people look at synthetic stock as what? You're selling a bull put spread, sell, buy, to fund at the money call purchase. So some people like to look at it like that, like, well, it's a credit spread that's helping me pay for something. Great. You can look at it like that. Some people don't. It's like, dude, this is a one by two. I'm selling a put to bring in some money and I'm buying two puts down below. All right, so let's walk through this. So this was pre-market pricing. We're going to sell a 180 put. We're going to buy two 120s. Okay. Before we go over and look at the order ticket, I want to show you something. Where is it? Here's the crappy. It's not necessarily crappy. Let me pull up the other one. The worst case scenario is a middle ground. Is like a fade. What do I mean by that? I think I wrote it in the other one that I gave you. Let me show you. Uh, yeah, this one's better. By selling one put and buying two puts further down, you create a position that has limited risk if it drifts lower slowly. It gains massively if it pops. And then you can get it for no cost or sometimes even a credit. But there's a and oh yeah, this one I have some good lessons learned in here, right? Using longer dated gives you time to trade. The worst case scenario is the middle. It went below that short put and it's staying above your long put. It's in no man's land. That's the max potential loss scenario. Okay, let's go build it. And, I'm done talking because it's fun. This is cool. All right, so all the way out into the future, we're gonna sell just a single 180 put, and we're gonna buy the what was it 120. And again, you can these are my puts, and me looking at stuff. You can move stuff around. Okay. But we're going to do two of those, selling one of the December of 2027 180 put, buying two. It's a one by two of the 120 puts. Ladies and gentlemen, look down here. Whoa, Wiz, I'm getting paid to hedge a bubble pop? Yeah, you are in this case. You're making 1,100 bucks. Okay. This is a credit. But now let's go analyze stuff, folks, because you probably haven't seen one of those type of charts looking before, right? Now, max potential loss is what? 4,900 bucks. That's right around my 5 grand, you know, uh, uh, for this portfolio. Max potential profits 7,100 bucks. Okay. Now remember, you can come over here and you know add one there, and oops, sorry. You can add more contracts, right? But always keep that ratio a 1 to 2. Okay. The max profit, and look at the break evens here, folks. It's got two of them because the worst case scenario is the hang. If it hangs in between 180 and 120, that's where the max potential loss occurs, right? I think it's written up in here. Let me go back to our trade desk because Chad did a great job of like wording it better than I could. The worst case scenario, where is it? It's like where is it? Yeah, here it is. Hey, if look at this, folks. Let's say Wiz by December of 2027, you were wrong, man. It ripped. Okay, well, guess what? All options expire worthless. You keep the 1,100 bucks. If you're wrong, you make money. Where's all the people who are new going, I just trade stocks and I can't believe this is happening? Exactly. I can be wrong in options world and make money. Yeah. Here's the worst. Now sit up straight. The worst case is no man's land. Wiz, it did go below 180 and it stayed above 120. Ah, that's the dead zone, so to speak. And don't forget, folks, as this is going on, if you just put this hedge all the way out into the future, a bubble pop, you can pay that shit off. Trade some NVIDIA front month, but you guys know you can do that too. Here we go. Below 120, profit grows rapidly. If it hits 100, and these were pre-market numbers, it's a 2 grand profit. If it goes down to uh, 80 and it goes all the way down there, right? So, folks, technically, kind of like a covered call, you know how E-Trade sometimes doesn't display the right max profit? This is wrong. What's the max potential profit? Somebody tell me what the max potential profit is. Technically, I'll show you what it is. Let me do this. Right? Then max potential profit is what, folks? If NVIDIA goes to zero, not saying that's going to happen. Clearly. Can it? Yeah. A lot of names out there that in the .com bubble you didn't think were going to go to zero. Netscape. You didn't think we at Lehman Brothers have been around for 150 years. Your money's safe with us. Bear Stearns. I'm giving you my solo Amazon speech here, folks. Can NVIDIA go to zero? Yeah. Will it? No. Could it go to zero? I just said yeah. Will it? I don't know. Does everybody get this? Isn't this pretty? There you go, William. Thanks for doing the math. Okay. I was looking at good question. I was looking at let's just go look at the chart here, folks. What strikes do you want to use, Wiz? Well, I was looking at the 180 put since it's close and gives you a lot of premium. Um, this 100 level was interesting. There's a bottom, there's chop. 120 to me, right in here was a lot of support resistance chop. But like I said, it's a good question. Throw down one of those. But again, to make that max profit, it's got to go through that where your two puts are, folks, and hopefully with some airspeed. I mean, hell, you could do it like up here 150. Of course, it's going to change the pricing and everything like that. Now, nobody's asked this yet, so I'm going to ask it and answer it for you. So the you can go earlier. Wiz, I'm not going out to December 2027. We're going to know in the next year. I mean, the 2022 NFT thing lasted what, a yearish? So I'm showing you I don't know when this bubble or if it's going to pop. I'm going all the way out into the future. You, let's walk it in a little bit and change the strikes, right? So let's do, I don't know, what's a year from now? 2026. Let's look at some 2026 strike. Let's go to the end of 2026. December of 2026. Let's just kind of let's do a 150. I'm going to sell one of the 180 puts. I'm going to buy two of the 150s. Because if something's going to pop, it's going to pop sooner rather than later, right? This is a debit spread. Wow, look at that one, man. You're risking 34 or 3,300 bucks to potentially make close to 12 grand. That's a year and a half, folks. I actually, I'm glad we looked at this one. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what? More realistic. We're at 180 right now, Wiz. You're selling the 180. And you just showed me on the chart, 150 is a doable get to if we got a pop, right? There's your 180. And 150 is all that shit right there is this stuff. Good question. I'm glad I asked me that question. I just did my standard synthetic stocks line of the future. Folks, this is a monster run off the April trade lows. I mean, technically, what's the gap? Let me just kind of do some minimum, probably 140. 140 is is the gap technically in the chop here. Let's go look at that. I like this trade. I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to put this in the model portfolio and my personal account because folks, I'm just again, I have to say 8 million times I can be 100% wrong, but again, with a bunch of things that everybody has helped me remember, I said over the years, like I guess I'm the idiot. I don't get it, and I think it's going to correct, and it usually ended up happening. 140. It's not that much of a change. 310 to the other one was a little bit more pre. I'll stick with that one. 150. I like this 1 by 2. Now, well, let me remind you where to take profit. I could not find that in my journal. I can't, so if the thing's imploding, if you can make what 100%, here's the potential profit. 11 grand. Hell, if I can make 50% of that, if this thing pops and starts, this is almost like a bearish double vertical, right? If you get a violent move in the direction of your, thing, close it. Um, Frank, no, I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't even know there was earnings uh tomorrow after market close. Good job, Frank. If anything, I put this in now. With my luck, they blow the doors off of it, but guess what? Or not. Let's go take a look at a tactical chart. Good catch, man. I even know. I don't care to be honest with you. Oh, so Frank, what are you seeing here, Frank? This is called what? In the earnings, the vast majority of the time, buy the rumor, say it with me, sell the news. Unless, of course, the small minority of the time, disgusting earnings, disgusting guidance. Does that happen? Yeah. Does it happen often? Oh, no. If you get a monster run into earnings, I've seen monster run into earnings, disgusting guidance, and it sells off. And then people buy it again. So thank you for pointing that out, Frank. The answer is yes, I would do this today. Let's go 10 and 20. Let's just look at some. Ha! That's a little much, obviously. Um, yeah. But folks, this is why if you watch some of my videos, like I said, from the Options News Network at the firm, this would be a no-brainer trade. I mean, they find 30 grand in their couch. I guarantee you there are people with a shitload of this type of position on. NVDA, all this needs to do, folks, is by next Chris, not this Christmas, the following Christmas, is get back below 150. And obviously, if it goes even lower, but you know, with by next Christmas, it not only went through 150, it went all the way down to, I don't know, around number 100. Holy shit. Now, again, you can play, on your brokerage platform. I guarantee you, yeah, okay, what if it does this? Well, let's go to where it's 100. At 100, that's an $19,000 profit. But again, you're risking 33. So I'm not throwing something like that around. Um, 5 and 10, 1,700 bucks. That's 16 grand in max risk for 58, you know? How about a 2 by 4, a 2 by 4 to the head? You spend 670. You're risking just north of the 5 for the model portfolio for 23. I'm going to do this one in the model portfolio. Let me grab a screenshot at 1 by 2 for everybody. Everybody digging this? Again, um, you know, this is William. I'm not a big Palantir guy. I just don't get it. I mean, I do get it, but so you know what? I'm not even, the answer is yes, I would. I was going to say I don't get why Palantir's doing this, and it's a potential popper. Yes, yes. Even though I don't, if you feel that uh, copy paste NVIDIA bubble discussion, the answer is yes, right? This was a 1 by 2, right? So, folks, we covered a couple things. Wiz, I want to give it more time to work. I'm going to do your original. Folks, remember let's go back real quick. Let me grab a screenshot. The original all the way out into the future had what? I think it was a credit. Let's just go double check. NVIDIA 826. I'm happy we did this. Let's stop and go back to the original trade. I forget already what the metrics were. Get rid of that. Do that. Sell the 180. We were buying the two of the 120s, I think it was, but let's start with 120 and go from there. That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the original trade that I showed you. Selling a single D27. It gives NVIDIA another year to pop from the trade we just did. The 180, buying two of the 120, you make money on this one, potentially. Okay. But obviously, look, if you think the potential bubble pop-ins in the next year and a half, I like the other one. But as discussed in these two awesome documents I gave you, you can using the put back spread, you could potentially get paid to do it. A put back spread with NVIDIA Leaps is a powerful tactic for traders who want to position for potential AI bubble collapse with limited risk and unlimited profit potential to the downside. That is wrong, Wiz. You needed to change that. It's not unlimited. If NVIDIA goes to zero, that's where the profit stops. I got that wrong. It is a capital efficient way to hedge or speculate on a major correction in NVIDIA. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike effing drop. Let's talk. Any questions on this tactic? I love it. Use these. Jim, they're all posted in the member area. Everybody go look right there. Uh, Jim, go look now so I can talk you through it if you're not seeing it. I can post it in the chat box again. Here it is right here. Right there. Right there. Sharon, we're in the brief, man. It says it right here. And since we're over an hour, what happened? It's already scrolled to the next one. The full throttle brief is happening in the next 23 hours. Click on it. It's the same link for all the briefs this week, folks, by the way. So who was asking for that, Jim? Do you see it? Did not get the doc shown, only the first one. Dennis, you can absolutely do it for anything. All right, guys, I'll post both of these again. Open. Everybody look in your little chat box. I just posted both of them. You can do this on anything, folks. I don't, William, at Bitcoin, you're going to have to find options on Bitcoin, maybe an ETF or something like that. Okay. All right. Everybody got it? Good. But Dennis, absolutely. Yeah. Debbie, so Debbie, you're offset with that other put, right? It's a normal bull put spread. As NVIDIA races down, right? That spread has a finite max loss. Whatever the bear put spread max loss is, you will incur that max loss in that bull put spread. However, guess what? The long put is printing money. That's why, to your point, the gray zone sucks. I'm going to give you this is like bearish double vertical training. We need eventually a pop. We need a violent move in the direction, well, not in the direction, it is the only direction. Our put spread, it's a put back spread. Everybody get this? Yeah. So, folks, if you're, it's a, I'm not. I stopped trading Mara years ago. I don't care about Bitcoin. I really don't. I don't. But if you all are like, hey, man, maybe a Bitcoin bubble pop in the future, look at this back spread, a put back spread. This is the exact op. You know what? I'm going to add this session to our options weapon school training. Session 4.5, or it's going to be in the middle of right after synthetic stock. How about we do that? I'm going to record or post this. Let me write that down so I don't forget. I'm going to add uh, put back spread to OWS. We did this. So not only will this replay be on the primary brief, I'll add it as a new uh, options weapon school in here. Again, I blew the dust off my Chicago stuff because I haven't. Why was the last time Chicago was? We were in the global financial crisis, man. That's the last time I would have used something like this. But guess what? I think we're getting close to another bubble here. I get AI. I don't get how you monetize it. I don't get how putting hundreds of thousands, millions of Americans out of work is bullish. Well, they could do whatever. With what? They're broke. They're on unemployment. What? So again, if you just heard me ramble through all that and go, dude, you're an idiot. It's this, and this, and this, and everything. Great. Do a do a synthetic stock on NVDA. It's going to 500, Wiz. It's going to a million. Then this don't do this trade. This is what makes a market, right? I love this stuff, man. I'm glad we did this. Mhm. William, would you do an America trade now? I mean, technically, I would always do an America trade. Uh, why did I say technically? Because let me give you an immediate answer. No, I wouldn't. If you did the original one back here in April, I expect to be in your will or you donating a lot to the foundation because that was insanity. You're welcome. Right now, if you're new, for all the free people running around through here that didn't expect any of this today, the answer is no. Would I hold? Yeah, I'm holding a bullish on American trade that's up a couple 100% printing money. Would I put a new one on now today? Nope. I think we're way over our ski tips up here. We're getting ready for Sept October volatility. Jerome Powell might be fired in the next week. One more time, folks, I'm going to remind you, if I'm a reporter at the White House today and I see President Trump like Governor Cook showed up to work today, are you going to fire Jerome Powell for not doing his removing access or making sure she's fired? I'm thinking about it. And then lying on the couch tonight watching the rest of the Dallas Cowboys thing on Netflix. Breaking news: Jerome Powell's been relieved or fired for cause. Long answer to short question, William. Answer is no. I'd sit on the one I have. Oh, let me. I'm gonna. Let me just. Let's add this. Or actually, let me blast this out first before I forget. I'm sitting here on a rant. Let's go back. Let me give this trade out to everybody. You know what? Since we're in a free brief, ladies and gentlemen, well, I'll send that out via email. Let me go trade alerts. New NVIDIA, was it DECE 26 bearish put back spread. We had a good time today. Isn't this fun? Again, if you Wiz, it's going to a million. Get bullish, do the exact opposite of this trade, and it fights on. If not, okay. So uh, also called a put 1 by 2 or ratio spread. Got a couple names, but put back spread. Put back 1 by 2 rolls off the tongue. Put back spread. Whatever. Again, in options world, we overcomplicate it, right? We don't, but some do. With I'm going to call something 3 different names, so it sounds really confusing, and only we can do it. NVDA DEEF 26 bearish put back spread. So this is for our lifetime folks. We got 3 new lifetime members. Welcome aboard, Scott, James, and Linda. Thank you for your generous donations to the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. Really excited for our retreat coming up. Get back from Ole Miss this weekend, watching some football. The next weekend, we're doing that retreat. Did I put this in the right thread? Yep. All right, guys. Well, you can always, man, if you have this NVIDIA bubble pop trade hanging in the, remember, folks, a hedge is what? It's an ejection seat. It's your bilge pump on the boat. You really don't want to be using either one of those things. But if you do, you're glad you have it. So let that then put that thing in a filing cabinet and forget about it. Right? Hell, if you got the America trade on right now, 5 years into the future, that can make 100 grand. What did I tell you? It's not going to be a straight line up and to the right. Is the movement up and to the right? Yeah. There's going to be another bear market. There might be another bear market under Trump. I started this brief in the middle, towards the beginning, telling you what we might be careful what you wish for, Mr. President. I feel like I'm a slave on Caesar's chariot. All glory is fleeting. Be careful what you wish for, President Trump. You get a bunch of your sycophants in there, and interest rates are zero and this might blow up in your face. If this blows up in Trump's face, we will have a bear market between now and the end of the America trade. I guarantee you. You might do something like this: a 1 by 2 out to these 26. Don't forget, or no, you ready? Nov 26. Historically, the party in power gets destroyed in the midterms. If the Republicans get destroyed in the midterms, the market will pull back. Wall Street ain't gonna like it. They like Republican one-party power spending like drunken sailors. If I'm gonna say if, not when, if the Democrats take the House, guess what's going to happen? Breaking news: Speaker of the House, Hakeem Jeffries, has impeached Donald. Get ready for that bullshit, and the market will suck. I guarantee you. You need Panthers, baby. We're going for the 3P. What's going on with Raytheon? I haven't looked at Raytheon today. RTX. We getting a rip? Percent. Come on, man. What was that pop on? It already looks like it's filling that pop. That's a good looking iron condor candidate right there, man. How the psychedelics doing? They still ripping? No. Did a tie fade a little? Yep, there we go. I like it. Like what's going on. All right, current members, you're free to leave. If you're not a member, why aren't you a member? Join. Again, this is an accidental full throttle. It's my fault. Here's the link to join full throttle. If you didn't, he's been impeached twice, William. Donald, in case you forgot, Donald Trump's been impeached twice. Remember? Which is just an absolute disgrace. They will do it again. I guarantee you. It's a sham. The Republicans suck. When they own the House, they should have impeached Joe Biden. Wide open southern border. They should have impeached Mayorkas. I'm in charge of Homeland Security. Do you see the invasion? 20 million people, murderers, rapists, terrorists. It's secure. It's the most secure border in history. Did you see the numbers? I think it was single digits, like 20,000 under Joe Biden's last month, like 3 snuck in under Trump. It's insane. Anyway, so if you're not a member, join. I'm not going to give you a big sales pitch right now because I've been here for an hour and 14 minutes. This is the value, the annual membership, 29.95. If you want to kick the tires, it's 4.97. If you really, really want to just trial, it's 2.95 a month. Why is this one 4.97 a month? Because you get access to what's called the Hunters, what I just showed you over here. App, our trade alerts, our intel and commentary, and everything like that. If you do the 2.95 a month, you don't. You just get access to the live trade briefs and the manuals and the training and all sorts of stuff like that. This is where real tire kickers go. But if you're really ready to get airborne, just about everybody in this room is either a lifetime member or in the Hunters or Full Throttle Max. Full Throttle Max gives you access to the Hunters. Okay, there's my sales pitch. It took 2 minutes. All right, guys, we got one more brief tomorrow. AR next week. Look in the chat box for the documents. If you didn't get them during the brief, they're on the damn website. I just showed you that I posted them again. They're on here with the trade as well. Okay. All right, guys, good stuff. Have a great rest of your day. Fights on, namaste. And I'll upload this to the primary brief in a couple minutes after the video renders, and then I'll post it on Options Weapon School too. So this put back spread 1x2 will be in two places. Okay. All right, guys, fights on, namaste, and I'll see you tomorrow.